But notice, if you look at your finger chart, you look at your open B string, you'll see the first fret is C, and then you put your second finger down, and that would be C sharp, D flat, and then you put your third finger down, and that's D, and then you put your pinky down, and that's D sharp, E flat. Once again, there's the 4 notes you just played with your 4 fingers. Just when you run out of fingers at D sharp, E flat, what's the next note you're looking for? E. That's why your high string is tuned to E. Now remember this, way back here at the bottom of the neck, we started on E, and we encountered another E about halfway across the neck. That was 1 octave. That was 13 notes that got us up to there. Now if you count, you'll find out we've gone another 13 notes, and that's gotten us to our open high E string. So that's actually 2 octaves away. I can fool people all the time. So many people who claim to play the guitar don't know the first thing about it. You're going to be stunned now that you're beginning to figure out how it works and how little the people around you actually know about the instrument that they claim to play. I can go, your low string is E, your high string is E. Are they the same note? And people go, yeah. And I go, no, listen to them. That second one is much higher than the first one, right? And they go, oh, okay, they're an octave apart then. And I go, no, no. If you really understand your instrument, you'll find that your low string and your high E and your low E are 2 octaves apart, not just 1 octave apart. And, you know, on the piano, that's like 2 octaves like that. Listen to them on the guitar. 2 octaves apart. That's if you really understand your instrument. So, very important fact to understand about the guitar is from your low E string to your high E string is 25 notes out of our musical alphabet. It's 2 octaves. But we're not still quite done yet. That just took us up to our open high E string. We can continue to play 4 more additional frets up on our high E string. What would the names of those notes be? Well, if your open string is E, your first fret would be F. And your second fret would be F sharp, G flat, and then your third fret would be G, and then your pinky would play G sharp, A flat. That's 4 more notes played with your 4 fingers. 4 notes is about 1/3 of an octave. If there's 12 notes in an octave, 4 more notes is like 1/3 of an octave, right? So that's 1/3 octave up here on your high E string. A very important fact to know about the guitar is with your 4 fingers on your first 4 frets of your instrument, taking all 6 strings into account, you can play 29 notes. That is somewhere in the vicinity of 2 1/3 octaves worth of notes without even moving your hand. Not very many people understand their instrument on that level at all. And that is the basic skill that you have to develop in order to play the guitar, is getting good at moving those 4 fingers on 4 consecutive frets like that. And we're going to be talking about that specific exercise and how to work on practicing that in just a couple of minutes. That, by the way, is, as we mentioned before, is a scale called a chromatic scale. When you play through all 12 notes, that's what's called a chromatic scale. And we're going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But one other question I'd like to quickly answer is, another question I get all the time is, okay, I can play 2 1/3 octaves worth of notes without even moving my hand, but I have all these other frets on the neck of the guitar too. What is the total range of notes that you can play on the guitar? From the lowest note that the guitar will play, which of course is your open low E string down here, up to the highest note that the guitar will play, which is your highest fret on your high E string. That would be the total range of notes from your open low E string up to your high fret on your high E string. How far apart in pitch are those 2 notes? Well, here it is. I'll show you. It's 1 octave, 2 octaves. We already knew that. I'm up on my high E string, right? That's 2 octaves. But then I can go 1/3 octave. Here's where I have to start to go up the neck. And then finally, I can go 1/4 octave. Actually, I'm a couple of notes short of 4 octaves on my guitar. Different manufacturers have different numbers of frets. This is a 22 fret guitar. Some manufacturers include a couple more frets so that you can actually get up to the total of 4 octaves. Most manufacturers don't, though. But I always say, if you want to understand what the total range of the guitar is in terms of the pitch that you can play on it, it is the total range of the guitar is about 4 octaves. It's about 4 octaves. And acoustic guitars sometimes have a couple of less frets than electric guitars have, so you can even play a couple of notes probably less than I can, but it's somewhere around 4 octaves. And that surprises people sometimes. They go, 4 octaves? That's it? You know, people know that there's 88 keys on a piano, which is around 7 octaves. And they go, you mean the guitar plays a lot fewer notes than a piano does? And the answer is yes, that's true, it does. But I can tell you as a piano player as well that I spend most of my time playing on the piano in that middle range of 4 octaves that the guitar plays in. So, you know, you don't want to think of the guitar as a horribly limited instrument. It's a very nice little polyphonic portable instrument that you can pick up and carry around. It's a wonderful instrument, but don't ever forget, it has limitations. It only has a certain range of notes it plays, and there are only certain combinations of notes that you can actually make your fingers reach within that. People go, well, gee, well, what do you do then? And the answer is, well, you learn what the instrument does well, and you make the most of that, and then you learn what it won't do, and you try to find some way around it, which you usually can if you understand your instrument, which so few people do. So that's basically what's going on with the guitar. It is tuned the way it is because you have 4 fingers. So if I had to suggest what might be the single most important fact about understanding the guitar as a physical instrument, physical object, it's this: 4 fingers equals 4 frets. And what it is to be in control of the entire instrument is basically nothing more than just to be in control of those 4 frets. But then you've got to ask yourself, are you in control or not? Are you in control of those 4 frets or not? Are you in control or not? Well, if you ask me, there's an easy way to tell. And this is where we're going to start to see what I might suggest is the proper way to hold the guitar is all about. In order to claim that you're controlling the guitar, the best way, you've got to control those 4 frets. And the best way that you can prove to yourself that you're in control of all 4 frets is this: be able to touch all 4 frets at once. Be able to touch all 4 at once. If you can do that, you can do anything. That's the main physical skill. Now I'm going to show you something. Most people hold the guitar completely wrong. And they come into my studio and they're sitting there holding the guitar, and you're looking at me right now going, that's the way I see everybody else holding the guitar. And I go, touch all 4 frets, and they go, okay. And they wind up in this weird position like this with their shoulders all bent over and everything like that. And they go, this can't possibly be how they want me to hold the guitar. And I go, that's right, actually. You know, find it kind of a funny way. We've kind of forgotten how to play the guitar over the last few decades.
Hi, I'm Scotty West, creator of the Absolutely Understand Guitar Video Home Study Program. Hey, thanks for all the positive feedback on our video guitar lessons. We're now uploading new lessons right from our DVD Home Study Program. Each lesson is 70 minutes long, but we've chopped them up into 10-minute chapters to fit on YouTube, so each lesson will have 7 chapters. It's critical that you watch these chapters in order. Make sure you start with Lesson 1, Chapter 1, then move to Lesson 1, Chapter 2, etc. When you've finished all the chapters for Lesson 1, then move on to Lesson 2. Hey, some of this stuff you might already know, and some of it's a little dry. You're going to wonder, do I really need to know this stuff? The answer is yes. Each one of these chapters contains little gems of information that nobody's told you yet, and these are the missing pieces that are preventing you from seeing the big picture. Don't cheat yourself out of these valuable realizations. Stick with the program. Also, consider our complete DVD home study program. Our high-resolution DVD video is much better than these fuzzy little YouTube clips, and you'll also get all our cool printed material too. So good luck with your music and enjoy the lessons.